Morning all. Now, I said I was going to do a video on this Vauxhall Astra GTC and tell you about why we sold it and then we unsold it. So what happened, we had a previous customer come in interested in this Astra. This is a 2018 1.4 turbo limited edition, done 71,000 miles. Now, it was a part exchange at Motorpoint, the car supermarket. Probably about 40% of my cars come from there. And this was, I think it was from the Derby area, from the Derby branch. So, I don't mind telling you that we paid $5,600 for this, plus the fees. We had to go and get it from Derby. Sean went to go and collect it. Obviously, we get it back here, we valet it, put our plates on it, advertise it, and the gentleman come to have a look at it. We didn't have it long. He had a BMW 520d SE Touring to part exchange, 2012, done 120, which it was a nice tidy car. It was a previous customer of mine. He's had about 3 or 4 cars off me before, but his BMW wasn't one of mine, so he had been somewhere in the meantime. And he drove this car. We agreed a part exchange price on his, paid a deposit, and agreed to pick it up the following week. So we knew this needed a service. Sorry, it didn't need a service. I'll show you why it didn't. But it needed, we always do a PDI and we always do an MOT. And I like to take them to 2 different garages. And this will be one of the reasons why, you'll understand. So it went for an MOT and it passed, but it had advisories. Now let me show you what the advisories were. So the advisories were oil leak but not excessive, offside front drive shaft seal, and then 2 front tyres. So we add that to the job card, PDI and MOT advisories. Service history on this is actually excellent. I'll show you that. I'll find it. So you got 11,000 miles, 14, 23, 38, 51, and then 68. And the car's done 71, so it didn't need a service, so we wouldn't have serviced it. So obviously it had its MOT, and we took it to another garage to have its PDI, pre-delivery inspection. It had the pre-delivery inspection, and he looked at it and he said, Ben, you actually need 3 tyres on this, and you need discs and pads on the rear. I said, okay. And then he said, you might want to have a look under here. So we got underneath the car and we saw oil everywhere, coolant everywhere, and water everywhere. So it was like, what do we do here? Well, so it needed the disc and pads, it needed the drive shaft seal, 3 tyres, we're getting into a bit of money, where's it coming from? So I said, look, investigate the leaks for me, don't do anything else, investigate the leaks for me, and then we'll see where we are. Literally 48 hours later, the garage rung me and said, Ben, he said, I can see that the water pump is leaking, the thermostat housing is leaking, and someone has been here before around the timing chain. There's a bolt loose. Oh, shit. It's not really what I want to be hearing. So I said, look, any idea, once you've done the brakes, the tyres, the water pump, the thermostat housing, what I'm into? Not really, but you're going to be talking 1,000 to 1,500 quid. So, okay, all right, well, sometimes it's better to break even than it is to, you know, I've already spent some money to kind of lose money. I've also got a part exchange coming in, so I had to weigh up the fact, could I earn any money off his part exchange? Is this likely to bite me on the bum if I did spend that money and send it out? Because literally I've got to stand by it. I put my own warranties on it, so I've got to stand by it for a period of time. I made the decision that I'd sold it for 7,499. We'll probably just about break even on it by the time we've done it. So I said, yep, go ahead. I run the customer, explain the situation, that he's not going to get the car when he was expecting to get it. I'm gonna have to ask for a little bit extra time on the car. He was understandable. He was, you know, pleased that I gave him plenty of notice. Disappointed that he had to change his insurance, but happy that we were going to do the job properly. So fast forward, I think this was Wednesday, Thursday, fast forward to Monday this week, and I get another call from Mark at Diamond Vehicle Services. Right, we've looked into this, Ben, and it's worse than we initially thought. I need you to come and have a look. So I went, I'll go and have a look. And he showed me where I think every part of the engine was sealed up and it wasn't done properly. So it would involve taking pretty much the engine apart, the rocker cover gasket, the head off, the timing chain part, anything around the engine there needed doing. He had the turbo off, the turbo was cracked. I think we could easily have been into £3,000 to do this car. So yeah, so I rang the customer, said I'm ever so sorry, but I'm not prepared to sell you this car. Now, I've been doing this game for 17 years, we've been in business, and it does happen. Unfortunately, it does happen. This is probably only about the 7th or 8th time in 7 years that I've had to say to a customer that I don't want to sell you the car. It's a terrible place to be. I really don't like it. It's not very nice at all because the customer's excited about getting their new car, and why wouldn't you be? I mean, it looks a cracker. 2018 done 71, you really wouldn't expect it to be like that. It's a good looking car and it drives really, really well. There's nothing obvious when you drive it. There's no horrible knocks, bangs, rattles. It drives really well. Cannot fault it until you get it on a ramp and look at it properly. But that's why we do what we do. That is why we spend money on cars and make sure they're spot on. Because if I hadn't let this car go and, you know, we put it back together and hope for the best, can you imagine if he takes it to a garage, you know, in a year's time or whatever, and I say, look at this, even if it got a year, I mean, if that bolt had come out of the timing chain area, I mean, the damage that could have caused, that could have been catastrophic. So it's just really not worth not doing things properly. You know, I'd much rather take an unhappy customer that is not getting his car, but happy that he's not going to be facing thousands of pounds worth of bills in the future, or, you know, the car goes bang in 7-8 months, or I'm going to have to deal with it in 2-3 months. I'd much rather just do it properly, do the job properly, and tell the customer the bad news that he can't have his new car. Now, I'll keep my fingers crossed. I will look out for another one of these. At the moment, cars are hard to come by. There's no guarantees I'm ever going to find another one. The customer could easily go off to another garage and buy another car elsewhere, but I am going to try and find another one of these, and hopefully if I do, he'll trust me enough to buy off me again. So it's the morning after the Astra GTC sold at auction, and I'm going to tell you how we did. So the figures: we paid $5,600 for the Astra. There are buyer's fees on that, which will come to about $5,800. We then had to get it delivered from Derby. I think all in, it would probably cost around about £5,900, £5,950 to get here. Pay for an MOT, so you're up to £6,000. And we took it to the garage to have some of the work done. Obviously, not really much of the work got done, but I did get a bill of £499, so that's £6,500. So we took it to Kings Lynn auction, and it went through last night. And this Astra books, the Glasses Guide trade price is $4,600, so I paid well over book for it. Not really unusual. Good cars make over book, and most of the cars I buy are good. So it's not unusual at all. Bad cars obviously make a lot less, and that will explain this. Now, when I put a car through auction, it goes through with a lot number of D, which is a dealer, and they'll look at that 2018 Astra and probably think, well, why isn't that dealer selling it? There's probably an issue. And I think that's what happened in this case, because unfortunately it made £3,500. And then obviously I'll have fees to pay on that, so I'll probably see £3,300. So I reckon I've lost the best part, well, I have, of just over £3,000 on that Astra GTC. Did I make the right decision? Who knows? I may have got that all repaired for £3,000, but then it might have bit me on the bum 3 months later with an issue. We would never have known, and it could have cost me a lot more. it's nature of the beast, unfortunately. And sadly, at the moment, we're having a few of these cars where they are biting me on the bum. So I need some more good cars so I can get some of this money back. So please, if you know anyone selling a good car, I don't want any rubbish. I can't afford any more rubbish. I need some good cars. If anyone's selling a good car, call me. 01353 863 699. Hope you enjoyed that story. Better than I did. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my videos and channel, and you'll keep in touch and keep up to date with everything that's been going on. Thanks for watching.